repeated birth and death. The entire spiritual life is the aim and the goal of the spiritual life is actually to come out of the cycle of birth and death, not to get again repeated birth and death, become free, liberated from this material conditioning. So, in the last chapter, we discussed how living entity takes repeated birth and death due to the association with the modes of nature. So, modes of nature or the gunas, sattva-guna, rajoguna, tamoguna, these are the cause for repeated birth and death. So, this chapter name is Three Modes of Material Nature. Chapter number 14, Three Modes of Material Nature or Triguna. That Triguna is Sattoguna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna. So, in this chapter, we'll understand how these three modes of material nature or the Triguna binds a person in this material world, how it is the cause of our repeated birth and death. Krishna will be explaining in this chapter that first of all, what is these three modes, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, how they work, how they bind us. They are the cause of our binding in this world. So, how they bind us? Because our whole aim, goal is to come out of this binding of material nature, come out of the cycle of birth. But this modes of nature is binding us. So, it is important to know how they bind us and how to come out of their bondage, how they can be destroyed. It's a very, very important chapter. This chapter consists of totally 27 verses, and we have divided into three sections. First section comprising of the 13 verses, where it will be discussed how we become conditioned by these modes of nature, how modes of nature is the cause of our binding, cause of our repeated birth and death. Binding, repeated birth of death, bondage, conditioning, all more or less same thing. Liberation, free, going back to home, back to Godhead, the spiritual world. These are more the almost similar thing. Second section of this chapter, verse number 14 to 18, 5 verses. It discusses what is the result of being bounded by these modes of nature. What is the effect of conditioning by the modes of nature? When the modes of nature acts on us, what happens? So that is the 5 verses. And the last 9 verses, 19 to 27, discusses about how to become free from this modes of nature. So this is the most important portion because our whole aim is to become free from this material world. The spiritual life means to come out of the material world. And in material world, we are there because of being bounded by this material modes of nature. Then how to become free? That is the important question. So we'll try to understand what Krishna answers. How to become free from this modes of. So many people in different uh, uh, on different paths of spirituality, they are trying. They're all everybody's goal is same to become free from the material world. How to become free? Everybody trying different ways, but let's understand what Krishna says here in this Bhagavad Gita. All the message is very crystal clear in Bhagavad Gita. Just this one book is enough to take us back home, back to Godhead. It is such a powerful book, the powerful words of Krishna. The first section, conditioning of the living entities by the material modes of nature. Okay, so the first verse itself, Krishna talks about the highest knowledge. What is that highest knowledge? That highest knowledge is about this. What Krishna explains about the modes of nature, how they act, how they bind, how they give liberation. First of all, what is this? How they act? What is the effect of that? How they bind? And how to come out of
Hello.
this? How to
Good
become,
morning.
how they give
Going to
liberation.
school? Hello, Tara. You're having goldfish in your hand?
You can
Is it?
mute yourself, Neeta Sharma.
बस ठीक हूँ छोड़ने जा रहे हो क्या पढ़ने की मीटिंग कुछ नहीं वॉक करके अच्छा ठीक है सब हम्म बस ठीक है बाकी मेरी वॉक बहुत अच्छी थी सुबह मैं वॉक करके नीचे गई थी मैं ये लोग को गाड़ी देखने जाना था तो मैंने कहा मैं चलो
Neeta
पहले मैंने
Sharma,
सोचा मैं
you
साथ
can
में
mute
जाती हूँ फिर मैंने
yourself.
कहा छोड़ना तो भागती रहेंगी मेरे को गाड़ी देखने का इतना शौक भी नहीं है दोनों लेट देम बी टुगेदर मैं वॉक करूंगी बात कर लूंगी फोन पे अपने बस अच्छा हो गया मतलब वॉक भी कर लिया बात भी कर ली बैठ भी गए अच्छे मेरे मतलब मैं सुबह 9 से 12 में जैसे ही बैठती हूँ थोड़ा सा वॉक करती हूँ 2 ढाई 3 किलोमीटर चल लेती हूँ फिर जॉय के साथ वापस आ गई थी व्हाट वेयर इज अच्छा यू स्कूल सॉ द स्कूल बस ओके ओके ओह सॉरी
If you can mute yourself. Okay. So this knowledge is the highest knowledge. What is this modes of nature? What is their effect? How they make us conditioned and how to become free from that. What is the result of attaining this knowledge? The result is that one can become free from birth and death. One can become free from birth and death. So that's why this is the highest knowledge. One does not lose his identity as individual soul. One becomes free from material entanglement. One is not affected by creation and destruction of the material world. And one comes to an understanding of devotional service. Then how the living entities take birth in this material world? That is also explained here by Lord Krishna. So Krishna says actually, Aham Bija Pradapita. I am the seed giving father. So if Krishna is just like in this world, a combination of a father and mother is required to produce a child. So how the whole nature, the living entity comes in this world. So Krishna says, I am the father. And Prakriti or material nature is the mother. So when Krishna glances over the nature, that is by his glance, Lord Krishna by his glance, he impregnates the material nature. And then all the living entities are created. So material nature is the mother. She supplies living entity with the body. So this example is given to make us understand that we, just like a scorpion lays its eggs in rice, but rice is not the cause of the scorpion. Similarly, we living entities, we take our birth in this material nature, but material nature is not the cause of our uh, birth. That material nature is providing an environment, but the seed is being given by Krishna. In the fourth verse, Krishna declares, I am the seed giving father. Krishna is the original father of all living entities. So in this world, we get secondary father. Whichever body we get, human body means human father. If we get some animal body, animal father. Bird's body, bird's father. So different body, we are getting different father. But the Supreme Father, the original Father, Aham Bija Pradapita, Krishna himself declares, the uh, Supreme Father is Lord Sri Krishna. So we all living entities are combinations of this material nature and the spiritual nature. Spiritual nature means the soul. Material nature means this body. This body is the product of material nature. Material nature means this modes of nature. Modes of nature is giving us this body. We all develop this body under the uh, this material nature's environment. Just like a baby grows in the mother's womb and outside also by the care of the mother, the baby grows. So we are the like a baby in the lap of Mother Nature. Mother Nature nourishes us. So these are all discussed in this chapter. All of you must read this chapter actually. Only this presentation will not be sufficient. You all must read thoroughly Bhagavad Gita, slok by slok, verse by verse, read translation, read purport, try to understand as much as possible. Then only uh,
कुछ भी नहीं समझ रहा तो पूछ लिया करो नहीं नहीं पता है मुझे कौन बनेगा
uh,
करोड़पति आता है ना
we can actually understand
मेरा
Bhagavad
स्कोर
Gita.
रहता है
Otherwise,
रहता
it is
है
not easy to understand
कैसे
Bhagavad
आते
Gita.
हैं चलते हैं हम तो बाद में देखते हैं अरे सुनिए तो जाके फिर एक बार जाओ तो भाई अभी आज 1 करोड़ का सवाल पूछ
Krishna also explains that there are living entities everywhere, not in, only in the earth. It is in the air, in the water, in the fire, even in on the sun planet, the moon planet. Everywhere living entities are there. Everywhere living entities are there. And all the living entities, the cause of their appearance is due to the mother material nature and the seed giving father, Lord Sri Krishna. So all these principles are valid not only on this earthly planet, everywhere in the Swargaloka, in the Mahajana, Tapa, Brahmaloka, Patal Loka, everywhere this Bhagavad Gita principles are applicable, and everywhere living entities are there. The living entities may be in different shape. Even on the earth, they are in different shape. If you go to water, you can see different varieties of aquatics. You go to the forest, different varieties of beasts. So different places, different varieties, but the principle is same. They have all come by the seed giving Father Krishna and nourished by the mother material nature. Even though we are all living entities, the spirit soul, which is free, the nature of the soul is liberated, free, but we have become conditioned in this material world, in this material nature. uh, because we came in contact with this material nature, we become conditioned by this material nature. Material nature is now dictating the terms on us. Actually, we are supposed to be free from the material mode. Sattoguna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna should not affect us, but they are affecting us because we have become conditioned because we came in contact with them. Different bodies and different activities under the different modes is the cause of varieties of happiness and distress. There are different kinds of varieties of happiness. And all this happiness and distress is the combination of body and activity under the modes. The body, the activity, and it is acting under the modes. Modes means Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna, three modes. Now, what happens by these three different modes? Bondage by Sattva-guna. Sattva-guna is also bondage. Sometimes, no, people may confuse that Sattva-guna means this is the highest. No. Of course, amongst the three guna, this is best. But this is also bondage. Bondage means mode of goodness is the purest of the three modes. It is illuminating and once gets free from the sins and distress. Those situated in this mode become conditioned by a sense of happiness and knowledge. Happiness is also conditioning. So transcendental means going beyond, means going above happiness and distress both, not only distress. So Sattva means conditioning of happiness is there, knowledge is there. People are very illuminated, knowledgeable. If you go to Sargaloka, all the Devi Devatas, highly in knowledge, highly in cleanliness, highly in happiness, enjoyment. But that is also bondage, bondage of Sattva. Rajoguna bondage. Rajoguna means passion. This earthly planet is a typical example of this. Mostly the Rajoguna is more prevalent on this earthly planet. What is the characteristic of passion? Rajoguna is desire and longings. Everybody will be in constant desire of achieving something higher, achieving something bigger, achieving something greater. This is Rajoguna. Sense gratification, more and more greediness. These are all Rajoguna characteristics. More and more longings. Rajoguna is also characterized by attraction between man and woman. So some of the products of the mode of passion or Rajoguna is that hankering for material enjoyment and sense gratification. Hankering for material enjoyment and sense. Everybody is hankering for enjoyment, happiness. Everybody is hankering for sense gratification. That is all Rajoguna. When we want honor in the society and nation, this is also Rajoguna. Everybody wants some kind of honor. If somebody is dishonored, he feels very bad. Somebody is honored, he feels very happy. That is also Rajoguna. That is not liberation. That is not freedom. Freedom means he does not become affected by honor and dishonor. That Krishna has already discussed in the chapter 12. uh, that one who is beyond happiness and distress, who is beyond honor and dishonor, Apman and Samman, remains equal mind, equanimity. He is dear to Krishna. Rajoguna means the person in Rajoguna, he wants happy family with wife, house, children. These are all also bondage. And then to construct a residence for sense gratification. These are all Rajoguna. Now, the Tamoguna. Tamoguna is the lowest of the three modes of nature, or modes of ignorance. Modes of goodness, modes of passion, and modes of ignorance. This tamoguna or modes of ignorance is just the opposite of the mode of goodness. Under this tamoguna, the person becomes mad, and madman cannot understand what is what. So he does not know, he does not have any discrimination, what is good, what is bad, what is right, what is wrong, if he is in the mode of ignorance or tamoguna. He cannot make advancement in his, very reluctant to make advancement in spiritual understanding. Very, very difficult. We can practically experience somebody is very lazy, lethargic, drunk, meat eaters. They are all considered as tamoguna. They cannot have the sense of advancement in spiritual life. They are addicted to intoxications, always sleeping. Somebody sleeps for 12, 14 hours. That means he is highly under the influence of tamoguna. So in summary, this three guna, goodness, passion, ignorance, sattuguna, rajoguna, tamoguna. Sattuguna conditions one to happiness. So try to understand. Happiness does not mean freedom. Happiness is also on conditioning. Then passion conditions one to fruitive action. Fruit means I want result, I want result. That is fruitive action. I am doing day and night. I am working hard for some fruits because I want the fruit of my action. And ignorance means his knowledge is covered. He cannot understand what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad. Now, these three modes of nature, it's not that only one mode is acting at one time or on one person. They are always the combinations of these three modes is acting on a person or at a time. For the same person at different times, there is a different combination of these modes are acting. Sometimes goodness is in very high. Sometimes getting up early in the morning at Brahma Muhurta, 5 o'clock, his mind will be very happy, very fresh air, oxygen full. That means he's in Sattva. Night, 9 o'clock, full day, tired, is feeling very sleepy, means that's the tamoguna modes of ignorance has overpowered him. That is in more quantity. So there is always a competition between these three modes of nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. Sometimes goodness becomes higher, sometimes passion becomes higher, sometimes ignorance goes higher. But uh, for different kind of people, more or less one of the modes is predominating. According to our karma, our work, our association, our choice of food, a particular mode becomes predominant. Whatever food we eat, whatever people we stay together, that decides which modes becomes more predominant. If we eat a stale food, dead food, then tamoguna will predominate. If we eat fresh food, juicy fruits, vegetables, uh, grains, milk, then sattoguna predominates. If we eat pungent, chili, bitter, then Rajoguna predominates. So food also decides association, what kind of people we stay with. They also decide what will be our mood. In modes of nature means we can understand it affects our mood, our mind. So when goodness increases, there is a competition between three modes: goodness, passion, ignorance. When goodness increases, then what happens? When goodness increases means all the nine gates of the body. Our body has a nine holes: eyes, two ears, two nostrils, one mouth, genitals, and anus. These all holes are illuminated by knowledge and happiness. And one can see, hear, and taste the things in the right perspective, in the right position. We can understand things as they are, not in the illusory way. Just like seeing a rope as a snake or snake as a rope is an illusion. But seeing snake as snake and rope as rope is uh, seeing them in the right position. So person with a mode of goodness, he can see the things in the right position. But when passion increases, then person has the symptom of greediness. He becomes very greedy. Everywhere he wants some kind of fruit for himself, everything for myself. Is intense, and for that he works intensely. He cannot control his mind, cannot control his desire. He is hankering for anything so much. So the person who is very passionate, he is never satisfied. Why? Because always he wants something higher, something higher, something, and there is no limit to higher. There is always something higher than what we consider as highest. So passionate person is never satisfied because he is always aiming for higher and higher, higher. He is never satisfied with the position he has already acquired. And then what about when ignorance predominates? When ignorance predominates, then what happens to the person? The person may have nice energy, strength, capacity to work, but he doesn't try. He becomes very lazy, simply sits back. He is always in illusion. He never sees the right things rightly. Always he sees some reverse side of the things. For him, the life is inactive. The mode of ignorance is characterized by darkness, inertia, madness, illusion. These are all. By this, we can understand somebody in mode of ignorance. Now, what happens? What is the effect when we all get conditioned by these modes? So, what kind of modes we are conditioned that decide what kind of body we'll get in our next life? So, this is also very important. Even after death, what body we are going to get, that is also decided by the modes in this life. Mode or the karma. Our karma is as per the modes, and according to karma, we get the next life. So that means our next life is determined by the modes ultimately. Destination at death. Sat, uh, ऊर्ध्वं गच्छन्ति सत्त्वस्थां मध्ये तिष्ठन्ति राजसा अधो गच्छन्ति तामसा. Those who are in sattvagun, they go to higher planets, Swargalok, or higher, Maha, Jana, Tapa. Those who are in very passionate, they want to achieve some materialistic goal for sense gratification, they take birth in the same planet, earthly planet. And those who are in Tamoguna, they go to the lower planets, Patal Loka. There are 7 lower planets, Atala, Bitala, Sutala, Talatala, Rasatala. So they go to the lower planets. So in summary, if you see the results of action of these modes, if somebody is acting in goodness, then what is the result? Result is purity without distress, always happiness, is in knowledge, and he goes to the higher planet. Passionate is always greedy, he remains in the same planet. Ignorance means goes down, mad, foolish. Now, the most important part of this, not only this chapter, but our entire spiritual life. The question concerning if these modes of nature is the cause of our bondage in this world, how to come out of the modes, how to go beyond the modes, how to become gunatita. Guna means the modes of nature. Three guna. Gunatita, to go beyond this three guna. How to do that? So now the answer given by Krishna will be the guiding principles for everybody in human form of life to become free from the guna. So this we understood these three modes are all material, sattva, rajas, and tamo. Not that sattva is spiritual. No, sattva guna, swargaloka is also material because there also birth, death, old age, disease is there. In a spiritual world, there is no birth, death, old age, and disease. But in this material world, anywhere up to Brahmaloka is also under the effect of birth, death, old age, and disease. Even Brahma dies one day. Of course, that time duration is very, very high, but ultimately, spiritual world know that. Time has no control there. Then who controls these modes? The Supreme Lord only controls. Just like a criminal is sent in a jail. Who controls the jail? Jail is not controlled by another criminal. Jail is also controlled by government only. Who controls the citizens, civilians, or good citizen? Same government controls the jail also. Similarly, Krishna controls everything. Supreme Lord controls the whole world. The good people, the bad people, the modes, the binding, the liberating, everything is controlled by Krishna. But Krishna is not affected by this material. Not that Krishna is in touch with this material world, so he also becomes material. No, he cannot come under the effect of material. Just like a creator creates something, then he has the control over his creation. He cannot come under his creation. So similarly, Lord is the creator of everything. So Lord cannot come under the effect of this, of his own creation. Now, how to become free? That is given. One who has taken shelter of Krishna is free from the influence of modes. See, one line answer. Who can become free or how can one become free if he takes shelter of Krishna? Take shelter of Krishna means what? The same answer Krishna has given the end of Bhagavad Gita in 18th chapter. Sarva dharman pratyajya mam ekam saranam praja. You take shelter of me only. There is one even more stronger. Only me, nothing else. So if we surrender to Krishna only, we simply follow whatever Krishna orders in Bhagavad Gita, then our freedom from this material modes is Guaranteed. We get liberated from the modes. And what is the meaning of liberated? Liberated means freedom from birth, death, old age, and disease. So it's mentioned one can become free even being in the body. Just like many saints, even though they are in the body, they are free from modes of nature. Not that they are under the modes of nature, but they follow the rules as a matter of duty. As long as they are there in this world, they follow the rules of this world, this nature. But not that they are obligated to follow. They can cross beyond. They are transcendental. So now we don't have to give up the body to become free. Even in this body, we can become free. That is the power of a spiritual life, our soul, our spirit life. And if we practice properly this Krishna consciousness, then certainly after leaving this body, we go back to the spiritual kingdom. Now Arjun is asking three questions about the person who has gone beyond the modes of nature. How to identify the person who has gone beyond the modes of nature? What is his symptom? What is his behavior? And how does he transcend? These are the three questions he asked. So Krishna starts answering. First, he answers the symptoms of Gunatita, symptoms of the person who has gone beyond the modes of nature. What is the symptom? Symptom is that such person is free from envy and hankering. He is not envious. In this world, everybody is envious. Nobody wants to see somebody else higher than him. This is envy. So everybody is envious because that is the root cause of our material life. And hankering, we want something. We're hankering for one after another things. So person who has become Gunatita, he becomes free from these things. He understands everything in this world is temporary. So neither he becomes very happy in happiness, neither he becomes very morose in distress. He take both happiness and distress as almost similar, becomes equipoised. He neither desires pleasure nor escapes pain. Whatever come, he accepts it as the mercy of the Supreme Lord. He accepts everything as the sent by God. So if things are sent by God, who will reject? What is the behavior of the person who has gone beyond the modes of nature? His behavior is that he sees everything same. Either a stone or a gold is same for him. Now you can understand who is Gunati. Who sees a stone and a gold, same. Friend and enemy, same. He is steady in all circumstances. Praise and blame, whenever he is praised and whenever he is blamed, in both situations he maintains same mental frame, mental state. Honor and dishonor. Somebody dishonors a person or honors a person, and in both situations he maintains his equanimity, equal mind, equal behavior. In this duality, he maintains equanimity, then he is beyond guna, beyond the modes of nature, or he is transcendental, he has become gunati. Duality is not under the effect of duality. Now the question, as we already heard, how to become gunati, how to go beyond the modes of nature. That is spoken by Krishna in this verse number 26. Mam chayopyavicarena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatittaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Translation. One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. I'll repeat. One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, No? We say because of this, my devotional service is not happening, because of that, my devotional service. No, unfailing in all circumstances. If somebody engages in full devotional service, he at once transcends the modes of material nature. At once. It doesn't take time. 1 life, 2 life, 100. No. At once, immediately, then and there. He becomes free from the modes of nature. He comes to the level of Brahman. Level of Brahman means self-realized, spiritual in nature, spiritually realized. Brahman means the soul. Soul is immortal, cannot be killed actually. Imperishable, eternal, always there. Soul is, we are soul. We never die. Soul never dies. It is eternal. So this science of body and soul we already heard in chapter number 2. You should go back to chapter 2 and try to repeat those verses and understand what is body and soul. Brahman is the first stage of realizing the absolute truth. Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Brahman is the first step, then Paramatma, localized God, and then Bhagavan, the Supreme Lord, as a person. That is the highest feature. So actual bhakti we can actually do when we become free from modes of nature. When you're free from modes, then that is real bhakti. Presently, it is just practice bhakti going on, sadhana bhakti. That's why we don't get taste in bhakti in the present time. When you become purified, then we start getting the taste in bhakti. Okay, now the quiz. The four Kumaras is situated first in the dash, conception of truth, but then they gradually rose to the platform of devotional service. The four Kumaras, Sanak Sanatan, Sanandan, and Sanat Kumar. These four Kumaras actually they were in the Brahman realization earlier. Later they understood the Bhagwan realization. They are impersonal feature earlier. How do those situated in the mode of goodness become conditioned? No, this is the question. People may think Sattva means free. No, Sattva is also not free. How? That is the question by Arjun. How those situated in the mode of goodness become conditioned? The mode of,
Attached with happiness.
yeah, anybody? Yeah.
Attached with happiness, he may be.
Yeah, happiness
Happiness.
is also conditioning. That
And
people we may have the confusion that happiness means freedom. No, happiness
mm,
is also conditioning. Why? Because happiness, it may be the positive conditioning.
mm.
Mode of passion is characterized by what?
Rooted, rooted, rooted. We are
Greed.
final result. We are expecting result. Passionate.
Hmm?
Expecting result.
Results.
Passionate person. Expecting
Then,
result or
yeah,
fruits. Fruits
yes.
what we are I am going to get
Fruity.
from
Very
that.
good. Yes. Yes. What are the three results of mode of ignorance?
They are laziness. Even though they are having too
Laziness.
much of strength, they are having all the qualities, but they are
Yes.
not ready to work
Yes.
for them.
Okay. What happens if a person who is in mode of Sattuguna dies? What happens to him after that?
Moves to higher level, higher
Yeah.
planets.
And what happens to one who dies in Rajoguna?
So repeatedly going to live in this world, in this
Yeah.
earth,
And the Tamoguna people,
lower
they
planet, lower planets. They will
goes down.
go in the lower planets.
Adho gachanti tamasa. Adho means down. What are the three symptoms of a person who has become gunatita or who has transcended the material modes of nature? What is its symptom?
he will be
That's very
always same. All happiness, goodness, all are he is considering all the thing as equal. Even though he is
okay.
getting diamond and silver, all stone, he will
Yeah.
consider both as one single piece.
Ama lost Kanchana. He considered lost and Kanchana. Kanchana means gold and lost means stone. Stone and the gold and same. Can you find out any person in this world
No,
who
but
consider a stone and a gold? Means he'll give
no,
his gold and accept a stone for that. So
no.
you can understand how many Gunatita is there in this world. But there are people who will consider gold and they are not in the media and news now. That's why you don't know. There are people. It's not that people are not there. Okay, this is the answer. There is four Kumaras situated in impersonal Brahman. Then those situated in goodness are considered conditioned by happiness and knowledge. No, he may feel proud. Oh, I am knowledgeable person. That is also conditioning. Mode of passion is characterized by attraction between man and woman, greed, fruitive action, hankering for material enjoyment, enjoy sense gratification. And the mode of ignorance binds the conditioned soul by madness, sleep, and indolence, laziness. Indolence means laziness. Madness means doesn't know what is right, what is wrong, no discrimination. So this ends our today's presentation on chapter number 14. Thank you very much. All glories to the Guru Parampara, all glories to Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, all glories to all the Vaishnavas assembled. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I'll be sharing the attendance link. All of you can mark. In the meanwhile, if somebody has any question, can ask question. If you have any doubt,
Hare, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Now we
Hare
are
Krishna.
living in this world with the body as well as spiritual nature. We are made up of body as well as spiritual nature. But
Hmm.
once we lost our life, if we are
Hmm.
doing some good activities, we will go in the higher planet. In
Hmm.
that place, based on
Hmm.
our goodness, we are going to experience some good thing. But
Hmm.
at that time, whether we will have any body or anything like that, or only in spiritual nature or in body or have to.
No, yeah, correct. Good question. As long as we are there in this material world, we get the material body. As long as we are
Okay.
there in this material world, we get the material body. Material world means this planet or Brahmaloka or Pataloka, wherever we go, we get a body. So that body is a material body. Material means made of the earth, water, fire, air, ether. One of the elements will be predominating. For example, if we go to Sargaloka, uh, if you Brahmalok, if you go Brahma's body is made of knowledge, full knowledge only actually. No, Bhumi, Rapo, Nalo, Vayu, Kham, Mano, Buddhir, Evacha. Buddhi, mind. This is complete mind only, intelligence. Kham, mano, buddhi. Buddhi means intelligence. So Brahma's body is made up of intelligence. Our intelligence is a small portion here, 1% maybe there or 0.1%. Mostly it is earth and water. But Brahma body, intelligence. That's why he has got so much intelligence to create this entire creation. If somebody has to create one family, maintenance is so difficult. If somebody has to maintain the whole universe, how much difficult, how much knowledge is required. So everywhere you go in this material world, there is material body. You go to Sargaloka, you go to Pataloka, you go to this loka. And what happens when you go to the spiritual world? There also you get a body, but that body is a spiritual body. That body never dies. That body never becomes old age. That body never gets disease. That body never, if it doesn't die, then no birth. So that is called a spiritual body. So this is the difference between the material world and the spiritual world.
Okay, bro. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll meet again tomorrow for next chapter, chapter number 15. We are coming almost to the end of Bhagavad Gita. I request all of you to kindly uh, purchase Bhagavad Gita at least. First step, second step, start reading, and third step, start chanting the name of God, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Then you can understand this Bhagavad Gita actually to some extent. More and more we chant, our mind becomes clear to understand Gita. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We stop.